Hello and welcome to the Grow Landscapers 10-minute business tip series, a show that gives you bite-sized nuggets of wisdom in just 10 minutes. I'm Nick Ruddle and today's guest is Mark Gregory from Landform Consultants. How are you doing today, Mark?
Yeah, I'm good, Nick. Yeah, I'm good. Living the dream.
Very good. You
Not
live in
stop
the dream.
raining.
You're everywhere. One of the busiest people in the industry, one of the best in the industry, the most abundant person in the industry. We love it. So hence why we're here and hence why you're on this show, because we know you love giving back. Whatever you can do to help
I do.
is brilliant and gratefully appreciated. So as you know, this is 10 minutes. I'm going to
Yeah.
click the timer. I'm going to go 10 minutes. And I know we can talk for England, but we're going to have to try and keep it to 10. Okay. So here we go. Now we're on. So what are your top three tips? What's your first one?
I think for me, there are all these tips about business. I think as an industry, we don't learn enough about the art of doing business. We learn technical skills, but technical skills don't pay the bills. So I would say my number one tip for me is it's all about managing the risk. When you go to look at a job, it's the risk to the business. What are the risks of the business? Analyze the risk. Assume that you can do the job, but do you want to do the job? Is it on a slope? Is it the wrong time of year? Look at the risk to the business and from a profitability point of view. That's why I physically look at all our work. I actually analyzing the risk. Can I make money from it? Who's paying me? What are the risks?
Brilliant. Do you know what? I think you just coined a new phrase there. Technical skills don't pay the bills.
No, but they don't. They don't.
It's the
I think,
business knowledge.
I'm a classic landscaper. I learned technical. I learned horticulture at college. Nobody told me the art of doing business. And if I
Mm,
had it all again, I would be talking to somebody like you, Nick, some business mentoring to understand the art of doing business. And for me, when I go and look at a job, I'm looking at the risks. Can I build it? I can build anything. But what is the risk to the business? What can I
mm,
make money? And can I deliver that with the skills that I've got? What is the risk to the business?
Got a commercial hat on, haven't you, really? It's all very well doing lovely, beautiful projects, but they've got to
Yeah,
make money, the
yeah,
bottom line. So, yeah, good. Well, sometimes you have to learn the hard way, don't you, with stuff like that?
you
We're going to try
do.
and help people avoid doing that.
Absolutely.
So, number two, what's your
Okay,
second one then, Mark?
so number two is have a robust pre-start checklist. And that sounds so silly, but who is paying you? Who is paying you? I'll tell you the reason for this. I had a Russian client and everything was signed off by his wife. Came to the final account. We'd had all these lists of variations and all signed for. Came to the final account. The client said, "Well, she has got no money. I've got the money." Where the hell did that come from? Now, so if you had a
Mm,
checklist, and that pre-checklist before you start a contract is what revisions are you working to? Who is entitled to give you instructions? Either the wife, the garden designer, anybody. Who is paying us and what terms? So it's a robust checklist tailored to your business. Out of who would have thought a husband would say, "My wife signed the contract, but she's got no money. I've got the money. What are you going to do about it?" Simple things like that will really, really trip you up. A checklist, documentation is your best friend. I would say
mm,
learn to love the art of doing business as much as you do technically build. Learn to love cutting deals. Learn to love talking about money, and learn to love your documentation. I know that's several tips, but it's number one. The second tip is to make sure that checklist is in place. Which
Do you know
revisions are
what I
you
think?
going to work to? What revisions?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a contract and it's all the variations, adds and omissions, and we start on version J, but ultimately the job's finished on revision K. How can you go?
Mm,
How can you go back?
mm.
This is the contract signed on this revision. So documentation is the landscaper's best friend.
Yeah, brilliant. And checklists are one of the most important systems that you can have, most effective, simplest of systems you could have. Just a little checkbox stuff, just so you know you've got everything covered and nothing's been forgotten.
But who would have thought that, Nick? Well, yes, I've got it all signed off by the wife. The wife, I've done all the variations. The wife has signed it. Who has got
Still
authority
haunts
to
you, that
pay
one.
you? Who has got authority? Has the garden
Yeah.
designer got authority to give you instructions to carry out variation work? Or does it need to come from the client? Who is the client? Who is the client? And things like that. Where does the accounts go? All those things, they're part of our checklist. They're makers. So we've got everything chapter and verse. It's the art of doing business. You're assuming the people who are interested in this podcast can build gardens. They've got technical skills, but possibly what they haven't got is business acumen. And business acumen takes time to learn. And as you said, mistakes made. That issue caught me completely by the surprise. We actually got paid ultimately, and I won't tell you how. It was nothing sinister, but literally, I knew a Russian higher than him, and he kind of said, "Look, you're in England now. Stop playing games with these guys. Pay them." But ultimately, I didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. And I think my third tip, it's more of a general thing, but my third tip is, and it's a code I live by. So when a job comes in, it has to do three things for my company. It needs to be fun. I do not do anything that is just for money. I do not anything that doesn't excite me, because if I'm not excited, the guys are not excited. So it's got to be fun. I've got to make money, and I've got to dine out on it. They're the three things that drives our business. So everything it's making money is not a dirty word. Everything we do, we have to make money. The last 6 months, our business has struggled to make money. You cannot make money in landscaping when it's pouring down, rain. Our maintenance is making money, and some contracts have done okay, but predominantly a lot of them are just flatlining. We've just spent 6 months just trading. We're not making money. So making money is a fundamental core of any good business. But the other thing is then, dine out on it. I want to dine out all the Chelsea flower shows, all these chocolate box schemes that go on to become award-winning schemes, fund the next raft of things. So those are the three things. Does it do those three things? I remember speaking to Sarah Ebley, who's a top leading landscape designer. And she said, and we shared it together because she has the same ethos. It has to do those three things.
Yeah. I know Mark, John Wire said the same thing to me. It must be fun, must make money, but also must enhance your reputation. So, if you get 2 out of 3, I think it's a goer, but it's got to have at least 2 out of 3 in John's sort of experience. So, right, thank you very much for those 3 tips. Now, I've got another couple of questions for you, as you know. First one is, what do you think can be done to attract more people into the landscape industry?
I think it's a really serious situation. I think it's a dire situation. It's gone backwards from when I trained, and it was bad then. I think it's got worse now. We've got a lot of competitions from other industries that are switched on and to look after our people, probably better than collectively. I think it needs a complete front from everybody, from HTA, from Barley, from APL, the whole thing. We need a launch, and we've got Go Landscape, but I don't think it's everybody's got behind it. I think the whole industry needs to get behind it and shout. We really need to shout how amazing this industry is, and I don't think we're offering on salaries. We talk about it every day, Nick. We talked about it yesterday. Ground workers are on better money than we can pay our guys. Ground workers, they've got no less skills. How can we sex our skills up? How can we make our more attractive? It's the biggest threat. It's the handbrake on my business. My maintenance could double its growth if we could get skilled people. So it's a significant problem and getting worse, especially with the weather the last 6 months. Why would you want to work in this industry? Getting wet, soaked every single day. And we're not making money, so we can't afford to pay more money to hold our guys. It's an issue. I don't think there's any golden ticket to get this sorted out. I do think collectively we need to bang on doors. We need to get into schools. We need to capture
Yeah.
schools, you know. Do we need an ambassador? Do we need a Jamie Oliver of landscaping, somebody who's dynamic? You know, I genuinely don't know. I do my bit. I really genuinely do. I really try to upsell the industry, but I think we've got serious decline. We've got serious decline. And I'm actually saying serious decline because I think it's a serious issue. And it's a lot worse now than it was 10 years ago. Never mind 30, 40 years ago when I trained. I think
Yeah.
it's the route to market it's convoluted. I can't put my finger on it, but I know that collectively we need a steering group from all the industry bodies. We need to put a date in the diary and then bombard it and get everybody to bombard, massively bombard. And I think to, you know, possibly a spring launch, to do a spring launch, sun's coming out, you know, and then followed up by schools, get into schools. And the Go landscape thing needs reinvigorating.
Yeah.
Long
Brilliant. I think schools is great, and a massive, you know, get together with all the influential governing bodies. Definitely a good start. Right. So that was our 10-minute bell, but I've got that last one question for you. So hopefully you can answer this one fairly quick. How do you as a business owner keep growing and learning?
I think because I think we're excited, we're enthusiastic. I'm never bored. Every day is a school day. We completely engage in the industry. We go to all the trade shows. I'm inspired by the Instagram and the TikTok stuff and some of these younger landscapers. I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired by the stuff I see. I don't know. I'm just inquisitive. I'm never. I'd like to think I'm never complacent. I never feel I've got to a point where I've reached and plateaued. I'm there. I'm always looking around the corner. Can we do it better? Are we good enough? I'm questioning myself, questioning our team's ability. We're going for accreditation. Accreditation for our business is key. Accreditation. I want to be accredited through everything, because that puts us into that kind of super league of contract accessibility, and people will in time will only work with certain accredited companies. So for us as a business, getting our ducks in a row, getting our accounts sorted out, getting our accreditation good, and then we can open what doors we need to open. But I think just being enthused, Nick. I'm enthused to learn. You know, every day's a school day.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah, got to be hungry, haven't you? The day you think you cracked it is a very dangerous, vulnerable day. So, look, Mark, thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy at the moment with Chelsea and SGD stuff, and God knows what else you're involved with in the industry. But I really do appreciate you coming on again. And I'm sure many people will take a lot from what you said today, as they always do, as I do. And yeah, keep up banging the drum, keep on doing that, and keep up the great work.
You're welcome,
Nice
Nick.
to see you again.
Thanks
Have a
for
good
having me
day.
on.
Take care.
Thank you.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers.
Absolute pleasure. Cheers, mate. Bye bye.